All right, let's bring in our guests. We have with us in the studio Comrade Adejorin Manuel. He's the Director of Student Empowerment NANS, that is National Association of Nigerian Students. And joining us via telephone from Lagos is Engineer Rahman Mogaji. He's the Project Manager for Nigeria Vocational and Enterprise Skills Development Management System, World Skills Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us, Engineer Mogaji.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I'll just quickly begin with you. When you look at youth restiveness, of course, you know, it's been pinned to different factors. But from your perspective and going by the trend we've seen happen, especially for a developing country like Nigeria, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me once again. Actually, Nigeria as a country is a youthful population with over 60% of the total population young people between the age of 25, between the age of 15 to 35, according to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. And this population creates both challenges and opportunities for Nigeria. But if adequately harnessed, it creates more of opportunities. But if not, it creates good challenges. However, governments have been doing several interventions in addressing youth restiveness in the country through different interventions between different ministries and agencies. But there are many little impacts of what we can get from those interventions. And I've come to have a deeper understanding of what are the really challenges that all these government interventions are not giving us the expected impact. The issue is this. We have a systemic dysfunctioning country whereby we have a challenge of a system that are not really working per se. And to address this, we have to employ the use of different technology. Technology brings about opportunities where we can use it to address these systemic challenges. And for us to address this effectively, I will recommend the government to also look at a situation whereby when they are engaging in youth empowerment programs, they should leverage on technologies such as blockchain, which can address base systemic dysfunctioning. And in order to achieve this goal, there are a lot of activities that need to be addressed. First, we need to have data of young people. And thank God, the government of the day are really working hard in the area of data capture. We have the issue of the NIN, which I believe at least over 60% of the population is being captured based on this NIN. And this NIN is a veritable vital information for the government to be able to harness this population and to effectively engage them productively. Okay. And to achieve all this, I want to say one thing again, is that through this data, we can also use this data to create what we call skill to enterprise promotion for young people. And it's not about giving palliative per se to all these young people, but making them to be productive in whatever things the government wants us to address.
Engineer Mogaji, if I'll come in there, we'll definitely get back to you, but it's good you picked up on the skills aspect, which we've also seen the federal government show rather put prioritization. We have the FG Alerts Digital Skill Innovation. We have the 3MTT. We also have the Skill Up Artisans. They're innovative means that has been deployed by the federal government, you know, to support young people to be skilled, you know, to be empowered through skills acquisition. Comrade Manuel, how would you say, you know, students, you know, are being engaged to some of these initiatives put up by the federal government? Are they benefiting from it?
Thank you very much for having me. Thanks for the opportunity. Yes, we are benefiting immensely from different schemes via the federal government. For instance, we'll talk about there was a time we were asked to submit some names of students from across the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. And this Smedan wanted to empower us, and we just concluded the collation of the list, and we know that we expect something big from them. Then apart from that, we have the NEL fund, the educational loan fund. That, based as it were, has various categories. Apart from the loan to pay school fees, there's a section of the loan of the NEL fund loan that has to do with skills acquisition.
Yes.
So this gives a vibrant opportunity for every student who is interested in learning a skill or the other to go for it and learn the skill that it's actually packaged in it. So with that, when you have when you have a skill, I'm not sure you will be idle, and I'm sure your restiveness will be channeled positively. So,
and if I'll comment there, comrade, I know there's also been efforts, to introduce courses for digital skills and also entrepreneurship from the basic level to the tertiary level. Am I correct?
You're very correct.
Okay, are students really engaging themselves, taking advantage of this opportunity?
Thank you very much. Most higher institutions right now have this compulsory course called entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And in some institutions, they do it in their first year, but in most institutions, do it from year 1 to their final year. And what they do is they engage them in different skills, ranging from baking to as complex as welding and vulcanizing. And when you see all these skills, you don't have them and still remain the same. So even while you're schooling, you see students, going for decoration jobs, for catering jobs, baking, and all that, sewing, and all that. So it has actually helped a great deal to bring our students to limelight with the realities on ground, to see that apart from education, you can still actually get 1 or 2 skills before you graduate from your school. So yes.
Okay, Engineer Mogaji, can you hear me? Engineer Mogaji?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, great. Earlier, in your opening remarks, you talked about the importance of skills. Now, there's also the access to information of these skills, especially for the young people, and the role the private sector can play. You are from the private sector, and you've been engaging government through different reforms, to power youth through different skills innovation. What would you say as regard the role of the private sector and how these youths can have access to that information?
Okay, thank you very much once again. The issue of private sector engagement in the skill development ecosystem require a lot of attention from the government. First, I would like to say this. There is need for a centralized database for skill ecosystem, where different key interventions, different stakeholders are embedded, and to ensure that we want to know who is doing what and what impact are you making in the area of skill ecosystem, in the area of training, in the area of the empowerment aspect. What we have developed from our own organization is to develop a systemic approach to skill to enterprise promotion. And to achieve that, it involves both public, private, and civil society engagement. And to do this, there is need for us to have a centralized database based on blockchain, so that there will not be a replication of intervention to the same set of people gaining opportunity for empowerment while others are not gaining. And in order to do this, blockchain technology has bring about opportunities for young people to be empowered. And with that, blockchain as an all, because I focus on blockchain, because blockchain bring about transparency. It brings about corrupt-free system, whereby everybody involved, all key stakeholders that is involved in the training of young people to become productive. The government can know their impact. The government can know who is working and who is not working, and which intervention is working and which intervention is not working. And through that centralized database approach, government can be able to unleash their more investment in the area of intervention that is working and not giving more priority to those that is not working. For the private sector, we are confident in the system being developed, and they will be able to make more contribution to the skill development ecosystem in Nigeria. And lastly, the youth will see hope in the whole system, that it doesn't matter who you know to be able to acquire skills and be empowered. And with that system, I believe the government really needs to invest more on the blockchain empowerment program, whereby every Nigerian, irrespective of your status, religion, or economic situation, you can have access to that systemic approach to skill development.
Indeed.
In the long run, my advice to the federal government is to ensure that they develop what we call I call it the skill card platform. A skill card platform provides an opportunity for young people. When you have that skill card, the skill card gives you access. It's like an asset for you to acquire skills and be empowered.
Okay, it's
and
good.
With your skill card, with your skill card, you can acquire training. And when you acquire this training, in the course of, you have to be productive. It's not about giving individual money. I don't believe in that. What I believe in is create a skill card wallet whereby a digital fund is being
Engineer Mogaji, I'll have to come in there. I like the fact you're putting digital technology at the forefront, but of course, you know, the federal government is moving to establish skills innovation hubs and, of course, entrepreneurship centers across the country. And talking about one way to engage them, of course, harnessing their innovativeness, Comrade Manuel, of course, digital technology, we saw Engineer Mogaji picked up with that. And we know Nigerian youths are very resourceful, you know, taking advantage of the digital revolution, but there is also the gap of digital literacy. Now, what kind of support do you think students can get, you know, to help them harness their potential? We have state universities across the country, so what role can state governments play in that support?
Thank you very much. The state governments are not really doing that much, aside the federal government. And it's been a culture right now that we blame the federal government for everything. And I think the state governments have a lot to do when it comes to the digitalization, the improvement of digital learning, digital technology across the schools. That is one. Then two, I think the government cannot do everything for us. Life abhors vacuum, and we should not overemphasize the values, the essentialities of our value system, because charity begins at home. And when a child has this get rich quick syndrome, all these things, digitals, technology, even education, generally would not matter to them. So I think I would employ everybody in the community, be the parents, the guardians, not even the government this time around, to see how best we can instill some more values. Then, according to what the engineer said, I just want to add in addendum. Now, technology is fine, science is fine, digitalization is fine, but there's something happening right now that we are not taking cognizance of. That is the issue of food scarcity. Now, if we check the statistics right now, majority of our people on the farm, they are the old people and their children. Young adults, youth, they are not ready for agriculture anymore. Why? Because most things that we use for this agriculture is obsolete, is archaic. So I think that is where I will call the attention of the federal government. Although the Minister of Agriculture, Senator Abuja, is trying, is doing his best. And the last time we were with him, with the President of NANS, Comrade Manuel, he said that 8,000 tractors are coming. And most of the tractors are dedicated, they will be dedicated for the youth, so that agriculture will be more lucrative, more enterprising, and it will be more attractive for youth to participate in. So when this happens, we cannot eat computer. Either we like it or yes, we find we're educated, but we will still have to go to the farm and harness the avalanche of land the mass that we have that are wasting. So that is actually my take on this.
Yes, and it's not a wrong thing to have student farmers.
Yes.
Okay, so Engineer Mogaji, on a final note, Engineer Mogaji, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, on a final note, we'd like to hear your thoughts. You've talked about investment, and then looking at this investment on a general term, talking about human capital development. What is the way forward, really, as we round off this conversation?
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, on our own part, we are also working on developing the artificial intelligence knowledge center, which will give opportunities for young people to have a digital skill in the area of AI and to leverage on that in the area of the art skill. This initiative will make government to invest less in the art skill development of the young people by leveraging on artificial intelligence. We have been working with some technology companies in the US who have already committed to provide 70% of the total funding of that initiative. If any responsive government, either state or the federal, can provide the necessary counterpart funding, whereby it can empower and create jobs for young people in the area of using AI to create more jobs and to also solve societal challenges. In order to achieve all this, there is need for a concerted effort among all stakeholders to come together and to ensure that this investment, when provided, the latest people are being engaged to make use of this solution, whereby so that we can have incubators, incubators that will be providing solutions for different companies, creating employment for female youth, and also to leverage on the issue of how do we put it, the issue of digital technology for enterprise promotion. Creating enterprise ecosystem within the digital sector.
All right, Engineer Mogaji, I'm afraid we have to leave the conversation there, but of course not the issues, because these are growing concerns. We want to thank you very much for your time. He is Engineer Rahman Mogaji, Project Manager for Nigeria Vocational and Enterprise Skills Development Management System, World Skills Nigeria. Thank you very much. Wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
All right. We'll also like to thank Comrade Adejorin Manuel. He is the Director of Students Empowerment, NAN's Presidency, that is National Association of Nigerian Students. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.